I really appreciate the volunteers. I appreciate their faithfulness and their dependability. They come once or twice a week, many of them, and I appreciate the way that they love the kids and the way that they share our vision. And we have had some really outstanding support and help from volunteers. Everything from having somebody who's a retired principal to a guidance counselor, psychologist, to a counselor, to art teachers, to music teachers, to people who work one-on-one with children. And it's just been a huge blessing to have so many people who are gifted and are willing to share those gifts with us.
I really just want to say thank you to all of our volunteers and everybody who helped out at Camp Hope and during the school year. I think without the volunteers, we couldn't do what we do, and you guys just bless us in so many ways. Spice up our lives, make what we do a lot more interesting, and just want to say thank you. I really want to say thank you to Mary Davis and her crew, and for just coming in on Wednesdays and all the hard work you guys put in. You guys are great with the kids, and you really made it easy on our staff, and so thank you so much. And also Rachel Coates, thank you so much for everything you did, especially the pizza at the end of the year. The kids love that, and they won't forget that, so thank you.
I really appreciated the volunteers this year because they really have allowed our programs to move to a new level of quality. I think about the volunteers that come in to lead the different options, or the club time as you might call them, and the way that they prepare for it and lead these kids is just exceptional. And so I'm just really thankful for how they come along and they join us in what we want to do for the kids.
What I really appreciate about our volunteers when she comes to our after-school program is that it really feels like she's a part of our family. And she comes in with all of this energy, she comes in ready to do whatever is asked of her, and she really bonds well with the students, and the students really have a good rapport with her. And she helped the kids with their homework, and then she also talked to the students. She's showing a genuine, natural interest in the students that she's working with.
One thing I really appreciate about volunteers is that in my job working with the teenagers, I couldn't do what I do without my volunteer tutors. I can't be everywhere, and so to have a small army of people to come and work one-on-one with my students, to help them with their SATs, to help them get ready for their homework, that's a huge help to me and life-changing for the students. I just think we have one young man in college right now who would not be there if it wasn't for a dedicated tutor who came down every week and just cared about him. And he knew that care was genuine, and it inspired him to go on and try to get to college. So that's something I appreciate.
I work with the volunteers who come back to the office, and I just appreciate the time that they give, the sacrifice that they make if they're to come in and help us out. They do so much work for us, and I just can't imagine how we would function without these volunteers. So their efforts help us out financially, that we don't have to hire additional office help, and just to have them there and their cheerful faces and coming in so regularly, it's just really an encouragement to me personally each time that they come in.
I've really appreciated just my volunteers being really flexible this year and being willing to do anything I ask them to do, whether it's working with kids on homework or getting food ready or cleaning, and they've just had really great attitudes and are willing to do really anything that I ask them.
The volunteer piece, answering how we appreciate volunteers, specifically examples we've had, and for me, I interact with so many volunteers that I'm gonna miss commenting appropriately for so many people that ought to hear about how much we appreciate what they do. But certainly I meet a lot of them in the office, and I think their dedication is a real inspiration to everybody on staff. And we say that to volunteers a lot, but it's so heartfelt. It's hard to realize how valuable the presence of a volunteer is, not just in terms of what they do skill set wise, but in terms of the encouragement it gives to us and the manifestation of God's love that it really is to us. And you take Chris Qualls working on the books, like, you gotta be hardcore, I think, to be a volunteer bookkeeper, and especially working with my expense reports and the challenges and the complexities of our organization. Really dedicated, really patient, and just a joy to have around. And I know when she walks in, all of us feel glad to see her, and that's an element, like when you see a family member has been missing for a little while, and a really valuable and critical role for many else, and touches some, and in that case doesn't work with children directly, although she gets to hear a few things in the office occasionally. You take Miss Johnson sitting at the end of my office table while I'm working on a computer or something, mentoring or tutoring a kid. I love to listen. You can hear the teacher, Miss Johnson. She taught for 40-some years. But it's amazing, obviously, to have a woman with that much experience and willing to invest her time and work with kids, and sometimes they're on point, sometimes they're not. But an interesting thing with Miss Johnson is she's an excellent teacher. And I often think, what a gift to our children to get that enrichment. We've got great teachers, but it's really wonderful to pull a kid out one-on-one like that. And so again, a powerful demonstration of what God's love looks like, how He provides resources, and a way for our children to experience God's love and have a broader vision of the world. But I really enjoy listening to the joy in Miss Johnson's voice as she sees a child succeed in grasping a concept or something. You take somebody like Marion Hess, who comes in and works in these business things, and very complex tasks. She happens to be a pretty brilliant person, but not something that anybody ever sees, not something anybody really outside of me knows is being done, and is vital to being able to maintain the whole organization. So that's a very sacrificial kind of volunteering, where no one ever sees what you do. And you have so many people come through our work groups, kids who might be passing through from Sarah Pyle Academy or something, over and over, the breadth and depth of who God brings. And He's a rich, vibrant, vital God, and you know that in your mind, and you read it in the Bible, but you touch it, and you hear it, and you see it when volunteers walk through those doors and share their life with you.